Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Luigi's Mansion. It is now time to continue exploring Area 2 within the mansion. Now if you come over on this side of the hallway, you will notice a floating candlestick and a creepy shadow on the wall. If you use your Game Boy Horror, you will notice it's actually a portrait ghost. Ah, the beautiful melody will not even give me the time of day. What must I do to win her? Passion, yes? That's it, I will show her I burn for her. My unbridled passion will scorch her soul. Yes, this is actually a, believe it or not, it's a portrait ghost based off of the heart. You can kind of tell that, obviously. We can't do anything with him right now, but just know he is there. And yeah, unfortunately, we just can't do anything there. He's holding a candlestick, which is visible, which is kind of interesting, but the rest of his body is not. So that's, I think, one of the only times in this game where you will see a portrait ghost holding a physical object, from what I remember. If you go in here, this is the washroom that Dr. Egad told us to head to. And we find a toad.
I dropped a really important thing in the toilet. I didn't mean to.
Oh, come on, Toad. You're freaking pathetic. Goodbye.
What in the...
I just love the fact that you can do that. I don't know. It's just funny that you can just blow them off. But anyways, we'll stop being mean. But you dropped something important in the toilet. Don't worry about it, Toad. We got you.
Hey, you're right. No point in crying over spilt milk. I suppose I'll just flush that old warrior away.
Oh, gosh.
I will let it swirl down into the depths and let happiness refill my life.
Poor Toad dropped something in the toilet. I guess it happens to all of us sooner or later. But if you will go ahead and open the toilet seat, you will notice that there's a key inside, and that will allow us to access the next room in this area. So yeah, nothing really here in the washroom. Most bathrooms and washrooms aren't really going to have a lot in them. But it's nice. As you can see, there's a bunch of cash just kind of chilling in this this cabinet here. So we want to go ahead and take advantage of that. And yeah, unfortunately, there's really nothing else we can do in this room, but it was necessary in order to get that key. So Professor Egad, you are always coming through for us. Always got to come in clutch. So we're going to go ahead and pass this creepy guy with the candlestick once again to head over to the next door that we will be able to unlock with the key that we just got. Go ahead and suck this guy up. And if you notice, those guys have 0 HP. So you can essentially just suck them up as soon as you have them stunned. And these guys are the same way. I didn't really point that out in the last episode. So but now it is time to open this door. And inside, looks like what seems to be maybe a crystal ball and a table with a bunch of lit candles, and very seance-y type of room here. So fortune teller's rooms. This is the next room of the game, and if you use your Game Boy Horror to zoom in by the crystal ball, you will notice, yes, there's another ghost, and it seems to be another portrait ghost by the heart. Destiny chooses our paths, and she seems to be a fortune teller ghost. What a lovely crystal ball. You know, these give off such a beautiful glow when light shines on them. I wonder if my flashlight works. Yeah, so that's basically going to give you the indication that you're supposed to shine your flashlight on that crystal ball to activate it. What do you seek of me? Who are you? I am Madame Clairvoya, seer of dropped items. Possessions of other people awaken vibrations in my spirit. If you find someone's dropped items, you should bring them to me. I will show you the extent of my vision. Interesting. Let's see what else she has to say. What do you seek of me? Tell me the future. Oh, huh? No, I feel no spiritual vibrations right now. Well, ma'am, you are completely useless. That was a waste. Yeah, we can't do anything for her or with her for right now, but if you notice behind her is another cheese wedge. Activate it with the Game Boy Horror and you will reveal, of course, another gold mouse, which we need to collect for our totals. Once sucked up, we will now gain another blue stone, so we're going to add 2 more collectibles to the list there. Of course, I'm going to head and we'll go ahead and sweep up the rest of these golden coins. That way we can add to our money, because we need plenty of that in this game, of course. What other objective in this game other than money is there, really? I mean, money is really the key to life and the key to happiness, isn't it? I mean, is it not? I don't know. That's a question for only someone out there to answer, I guess. But enough of my craziness. We are pretty much really not able to do anything at this point in this room for now. So it's going to kind of stay dark, and we're going to have that fortune teller kind of chilling there for now. But if we go into this door, which is conveniently open, we are now locked inside, as you saw the vines behind us. This is the mirror rooms. This is the room with the largest mirror in the whole mansion, and from what I remember. And as you can see, we only have reflections to go off of for the ghosts in this room. So these guys are, again, more of those strangly ghosts. These are bluish ghosts that are going to strangle you. They have 20 HP. So not really too challenging here. We just want to kind of focus on taking these guys down, and then we will be able to proceed on. But I love this room, and there's a couple other rooms in this mansion where they kind of do this little reflection gimmick where essentially you can only spot the ghost either through a reflection or like a shadow or things like that. We'll kind of see more rooms. There's not a ton of them in the mansion, but there are a few others that also use this gimmick as well. And I really like it. I think it's a cool little idea. And kind of keeps that little creep and eerie factor to the game, because it has to, I mean, there's plenty of humor in the game and comic relief with Egad and, you know, maybe some of the toads, you know, dropping keys down the toilet and whatnot. But keeping that creepy factor in this game, I think is very important, since that is kind of the overall core of the game is you're exploring a haunted mansion, for crying out loud. It may have been created by booze and isn't necessarily real, but it's still spooky nonetheless. And as you can see, we have a giant red treasure chest, so there's going to be something interesting with this once we open it. We have a, looks like a torch lit with a bunch of fire and hot rocks in it. And of course, another boo that we need to find. So yes, so as we are clearing more rooms, now we have another objective, and that is to locate all of the boos inside the room. So even though we have a treasure chest, that doesn't mean it's over, man. We have a lot more left to do. As you can see, the door is still locked behind us, and we cannot exit the room. That's going to be something interesting as well. But here is the boo, Kung Boo. Okay, I gotta admit, that one's pretty clever. Not a fan of most of the boo names, but there are a few that kind of, I think are kind of cool and are kind of catchy.
Oh, you're on fire, Luigi. Okay, now send me the boo data, yeah.
He's, man, Dr. Egad just loves or Professor Egad loves the boo hunting. He's just all for it. But now that we open this giant treasure chest, you will notice we have collected something different here. And what is this? Looks like a little red coin.
Hey now, Luigi. What have you found there? Let's take a look at that.
As he adjusts his horrible Wi-Fi connection there that he's having via Game Boy Horror.
Oh, it's a fire element medal. Now you can use the fire element. Yes, sir. With that, you can catch fire elemental ghosts. What's a fire elemental ghost, you ask? Well, they show up wherever you see fire, my boy. They're ghosts of fire itself, if you will. If you approach a flame, they'll be surprised by your presence and leap out into the air. Then you vacuum them up right away. After that, you can expel fire with the L button. You can melt ice, light candles, do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, this is actually going to be very useful for us.
Meter will appear down at the bottom of the screen, so keep an eye on how much element you have left, okay, feller? You may have to use the fire element to defeat some ghosts. Keep that in mind, sonny. Don't say I never warned you.
All right, so very useful information indeed. So this is one of a few different elemental metals we're going to get in the game. If you remember way back in Neville's room, back in the study on the first section of the game, there was a book that did talk about some elemental metals, or kind of hinted towards such things. So obviously there's a lot of foreshadowing that kind of goes on in the game, so you'll kind of see that a lot happening kind of throughout the entire game as well. We'll kind of see find some clues or hints of as to what we're going to be kind of coming across later on, and then once we get there, it'll kind of, you know, of course, tie into what we kind of found earlier on. But if you light these candles in the room with your newly acquired fire ability, as you see, we just suck up the flame, any flame that allows us to suck it up, you will receive the fire ability in your Poltergust 3000. Lighting that torch will unlock the door, allowing us to go back into the fortune teller room. But if we light all of the candles in the fortune teller room, you will notice a key will just suddenly appear, giving us access to yet again another room in the mansion. So very nice. And it looks like that is going to be okay all the way at the end of other end of the hallway, and that's actually going to be another important area as well for us. But yeah, kind of going back into the fire elemental metal. So kind of elaborating on what Egad was talking about with the ghosts some ghosts are only taken down by elemental metals. So basically, I'll kind of talk more about it once we get to or once we see some ghosts like that. But some ghosts you will actually only be able to capture once you weaken with fire or some other elements that you'll find later on. Only then will you be able to then shine your light on them and then suck them up like normal with the Poltergust 3000. But you have to have a certain element in order to even have a chance to capture them. Of course, that will be indicated by the element that is, well, I'll kind of talk more about it once we get there, but basically the ghosts are going to have a certain element inside their body that'll give you a hint as to what you need to use. So now we're in the laundry room, so not really much here. We just got to take care of a few ghosts here. So basically, it kind of works the same as like Pokemon. So like fire takes down ice, ice takes down water, and then of course water takes down fire. So again, I'll talk more about that once we get to the elemental ghosts. I believe they're in the next room if I remember correctly. There may be some in this one, I can't remember. We got more of the stranglers. Gotta love those guys, even though they are very creepy and pretty violent, I have to say. Never been strangled by a ghost in real life, but I have to say, based off of how it looks in this game, I can't imagine it being very pleasant. So now we have, of course, cleared this room. We have another boo we need to find. Wasn't in there, I thought it was. Not really a lot to search in here, so it's got to be here somewhere, right? But before we open that chest, let's see if we can go ahead and look for it. And it's... wow, okay. Looks like we have a washing machine with Mario's hat, and it's been laundered recently. So Mario's hat, one of the few items of Mario we're going to be finding in the game. If you remember back where Madame Clairvoyant was, she talked about having dropped items returned to her, and then she will kind of talk to us about some fortune that she's going to tell us. So we need to keep that in mind. But yeah, so basically we're going to be finding dropped items throughout the game. This being the first one, Mario's hat. And of course, the next boo is called Boogie, because why wouldn't it be? But we went ahead and got that one on the first try, so that's not too bad. We are now at a total of 8 boos. So we're going to go ahead and record that into the Game Boy Horror. That way EGAT can keep our tracker going, even though I have a tracker myself. And we're going to go ahead and save our progress there. So not too bad. We are still very, very far away from collecting all the boos and all the collectibles, but hey, we're making a little bit of headway here, I have to say. Not really much to see in this chest, just a bunch of gold, which is, again, you know, nice to have, but really nothing required in there. But as you can see, I want to make sure I'm cleaning house here. This door is actually open to us, so we're going to go ahead and explore in this room. And this is the butler's room. Very important room for us. We are going to be utilizing this. Right now, all we can do is really search around here. I don't know if there's even any ghosts that are active yet in this room. I can't remember. I think there still are. But take note of that little passageway, that little hole there in the wall. I kind of zoomed in on. We'll kind of be needing to go in there as well. And I'll kind of talk about what I mean by that once we kind of activate it. So kind of like a little mouse hole essentially, where I think the mice kind of pop out of. So kind of interesting, but we are going to be needing that. So yeah, nothing really to here other than this blue stone. Love how I said there's nothing here, but this is one of the more valuable items in the game. So we have now 3 blue stones. Very nice. So they definitely do a good job of hiding some of these stones where you really aren't even going to know where some of them are without maybe looking it up or just kind of really, really going around the room and kind of searching every little thing. But if we zoom in on that little hole with our Game Boy Horror, we will be sucked into a secret little treasure room here. This is actually referred to as the hidden room. I just kind of call it the treasure room. So in this room, as you can see, we have several treasure chests, and it is also dark. So if you look around here, you will find, of course, tons of treasure. You want to search as much as you can in here. I would obviously say open every single chest. I don't think anything happens if you light this candle. But before you come into this room, make sure you have fire, the fire elemental, or the make sure you have enough of the fire in your Poltergust 3000 because you are going to need it, trust me. So we're going to open up a few chests in here. If we open this one up, oh, I thought there was going to be a ghost popping out of that one. As you can see, there's still plenty of money to be found, but here is a ghost, and it is the first elemental ghost. This is an ice elemental ghost. As you can see, once you spray fire on it, it'll weaken it, allowing us to stun it with the flashlight. So with elemental ghosts, once you weaken it once, you will not have to do it again. So as long as you have enough of your element, of course, within the Poltergust 3000, all it takes is just one little spray of the fire, or whatever else you're using, and you will be able to weaken the ghost, allowing you to then stun it and then capture it up in the Poltergust 3000. So we're gonna go ahead and do just that with this ghost. And we have a few more ghosts to take care of, so we're not done here. But yeah, as you can see there, I think this room is filled with nothing but elemental ghosts. So definitely, like I said, make sure you have enough of your fire element inside the vacuum because, yeah, like I said, you're going to need it here. So this is a nice little example of kind of how it's going to be beneficial throughout the mansion. We're going to see several rooms where there are going to be these elemental ghosts, but for the most part, it's not like, that frequent, but they show up enough where it's important just to remember what element you have. So That's going to activate another treasure chest, and this one is going to hold a lot of goodies inside. As you can see, we have hit the Mother Mary load of colored gems here, colored stones, I should say. We have a blue stone, a green stone, and a red stone. So one of each color stone is actually located inside of this hidden treasure room. Very, very, very important to come in here. There's actually something much later on we can actually revisit this room for. I'm not going to really get into that right now. But yeah, very, very important room to come and find. But now we want to go ahead and seek out a boo, because there is one actually in this room, believe it or not. And it is Gumboo. I love, okay, that one's kind of cool, a little bit plain or whatever, but we went ahead and captured him, making boo number 9. Very nice.
Yowzer, you got another one. You're crushing it, Luigi.
Always love that little supportive feedback from our friend Egat. He's always there to help us out, so. But we have really nothing left to do here. Like I said, we will be revisiting this room a little bit later on, but for now, we are pretty much done. We can light these candles. Again, doesn't really do much, but we'll go ahead and look at these little creepy, man, really creepy photos on the wall. My gosh, these look like something straight out of a horror film. Yeah, he's quite taken with these photos, but for me, this is giving me like complete creeper vibes. So that looks like an old composer of some sorts. I don't know, maybe an old president. He looks like he definitely was, living life back in maybe the 1800s, maybe 1700s. I don't know. However, whichever time period that they thought it was okay to look like that and to dress like that, I'm pretty sure that's the time frame that guy was alive. So, but we're back in the butler's room. Tons of toilet paper over there on the wall. Very cool, very random. Unfortunately, they do not treat their butlers well in this mansion, giving them kind of a crappy room, no pun intended, with the toilet paper. A bunch of golden bats. These guys, as much as they look like they would give you some kind of treasure because their color, they don't really do much. You can just kind of suck them up. We'll kind of see a few bats throughout the mansion as well. But as you can see, we have cleared out actually a good amount of this area already, so not too bad. We still have a lot left to do, of course. Just kind of want to gather my, get a good grasp of my bearings here. Want to make sure I know where I'm going. But now that we have this guy, of course, man, he just pops up the most like inappropriate times, man. I'm trying to do my job here. But if we go back over to this ghost holding the candlestick, and now that we have the fire element with the candle, Egat told us we can light them. Ah, fire, fire, fire! Run away, run away!